Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 127. It is Thursday. Today here in Cincinnati, it is still cold. We have another winter cold day where everyone is home, or many of the students and teachers are off school. I am once again gifted to have my husband and my son both home today, and as I sit here behind schedule, if there's such a thing as a schedule anymore, behind schedule. As I sit here in this room, I can just feel all the light coming in. The sun is just so brilliant today, and it's reflecting off of the snow, and so there's just this beautiful warmth. Even though it's cold outside, there's this warmth that is coming through the windows that is such a treat. It's like a contradiction almost of as warm as it feels in summer. That's how warm I feel right now. And as much light as I get in the summer, that's how much light is coming in right now. But it's really cold outside. So today, I am preparing for a new moon circle tonight and another new moon circle tomorrow. And so, as I was reflecting in my meditation time on what I would share today, the word switching gears came forward, and I immediately saw an image of myself when I was 10. It's just a fun photograph that I'm going to try find and share over in the Soulshine Tribe. When I was 9 or 10, we were in South Africa preparing to move over to the United States. My dad was an American citizen, and my mom and all of us were South African citizens with dual citizenship for the children. And we were preparing for this move over to the United States. And so we had sold this house that my parents had built and moved into an apartment, a really small condominium, for a year while we were, while my parents, while my parents were preparing us for all the logistics and legalities that would need to be handled to move a family from one country to another. Again, this is back in the 80s, so there was a lot of paperwork and stuff that they needed to do. And I remember we didn't have a big garden or yard to play in, and it wasn't really a subdivision like we had been in before in our house. And so we had bikes, and we would ride these bikes all the time. And I had a 10-speed, and I don't know or I remember it as being a 10-speed. Maybe in my mind it was. And it was really like a 2-speed or a 3-speed. But I remember being so confused about the gears. I couldn't figure it out. And what I knew is I wanted to go fast. And sometimes when you're switching gears on a bike and you're trying to go fast, the chain comes off and things just start spinning, and the whole thing gets all wonky and it doesn't work, and then you gotta stop and try to put the chain back on, and it's this whole thing. And so I never mastered the ability to switch gears on a bicycle. It was like I had that frustration at that age, and then I just stopped trying. It was too complicated. And so I'm not a huge bike fan, probably because of that reason. And I'm always so impressed when other people know how to work the gears. Like, it feels like this mechanism that is so complex, and for someone to understand how that works is just fascinating to me. So today, when I was meditating, all of that came rushing back. That feeling of not being trained in how to ride the bike, not really having those around me who were patient enough to sit and show me and keep showing me until I figured it out, until I got it. And so how I just sort of gave up. You know, I threw my hands in the air. I'm like, I'll just ride the gear I know and forget it. And so I just learned how to work riding the bike so that it would do what I needed it to do, even though I never reached the capacity that was available. The reason that I had this fancier bike was so that it would give me this range of how to play with it and how to enjoy it and how fast I could go. And because I never had the support or the commitment on my own to learn it, I never fully realized what it could become, what it could show me, the joy it could bring me. And so it was fun, but it was like a limited amount of fun. So as I was feeling all of that today and remembering all of those feelings in my body about this bicycle, and how proud I was to have a 10-speed because it was such a grown-up bike, but also like no clue, no clue how to ride it and play with it. It felt like all of that energy, or the match to that, is where I'm at right now in this moment. I've been gifted on my birthday all of this love and support and encouragement from these beautiful people around me who see the potential of my 10-speed bike, who support me and cheerlead for me and tell me that I can do anything that I want to do and everything is possible. The difference is, as a grown-up, as a soul in a human body who's really been doing my work and learning and studying and reading and trying to understand and asking questions and sitting with masters, sitting with people who understand more than I do and learning from them, and then trial and error, you know, getting up on my bike and trying to ride it and realizing I don't quite have that gear figured out. And so stopping and reading and asking and reflecting and talking with those who I trust, and then getting back on the bike and trying it again. I feel like there's this space now that's available for me, which means if I can access it, anyone can access it. It's a space available to all of us to switch gears, to start to access the fullest, most beautiful capacity of who we are here to be. Because I believe when we choose to be souls in human bodies, we choose our specific body with precision, with great care, knowing that the exact shape and size and makeup of our body, all of the things we think are flawed about it, or the illnesses we've gone through, or the breaks or limitations we've had with our body, or the struggles with weight or diet or mental problems, whatever it is that we have gone through in our exploration of our bike, of our body, of our vehicle. It's been to strengthen and to teach us and to remind us when to sit down and pause and go in and reflect and learn some more and sit with a master. And then when to get back on the bike and start riding again. We've all been offered these physical bodies as vehicles so that our soul inside, the energy inside of us, can play, can learn, can, get to the top of a hill and put our arms out on the bike and ride all the way down to the bottom without crashing. And then pedal with strength all the way up the next hill, because we've got that muscle in our body and that commitment and that determination. And so we're just constantly going on this ride, the soul in the human body. And sometimes we're going downhill and sometimes we're going uphill, and sometimes we're just pausing and marveling at the journey itself. So when I was meditating and remembering this feeling of being a 10-year-old with a 10-speed, and I didn't know how to do it, I didn't know what to do, and so I just sort of faked it, tried to figure it out, didn't ever really reach what was the potential of that bike. I'm older and wiser now. I'm not perfect. I've not figured it all out. I do not have all the answers at all. And I don't pretend to anymore. I don't fake it out anymore. If I don't know, I just ask. If I'm tired, I just sit down. If I if I don't know which way to go, I start asking a lot of questions. You know, as an older, wiser human, my soul is more revered and respected. My body is simply the physical way that my soul can express, and so I am listening to my body with more kindness and compassion than I used to. I'm trying to understand my body in ways that I haven't before. I'm really caretaking my body in ways that I haven't before. And I can feel how I'm ready to switch gears. The learning that I've been doing, the practice of how to work this soul human bicycle body vehicle, I've got it a little more figured out. And so now I can start to switch gears and take more risks, get to the top of a hill and decide I want to go left or right, and go down a new hill perhaps, or climb another mountain. Like, there's ways that I can start playing that I haven't trusted before. And just like when we switch gears on a bike, you know, sometimes it's a little bit of adjustment as we're doing that, or we got to pedal a little faster because we're in a new gear, or maybe we got to slow down as we're switching gears. So I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like in the next few months, the next year. I'm not quite sure what it means. I know I have accomplished a lot of the learning and the expression and the creation that I came here to experience, and I'm only 48. I got a lot more time. so I can sort of play a little bit. I can take some of the pressure off of myself, that it doesn't have to be as hard as I've felt it has to be, or I don't have to put so much stress on myself as I have believed I needed to before. So I loved the analogy of the bicycle and the 10-speed, and I offer that to you perhaps as a way for you to play with, you know, what kind of experiences have you been creating, and what kind of bikes have you been riding, and, you know, use the image the way I have just to play around with where are you in your journey, and are you ready to switch gears? You know, if you're listening to this, there must be something in you that is matching the journey I'm taking. So maybe there's it's almost like I want to rotate my body a little bit. Maybe there's a switching of something in you that you're ready for, and this visual can give you guidance, just like it's giving me guidance. Either way, it feels really fun. It feels like anything is possible, and it's just about me choosing which gear I want to switch to and which direction I want to go, and there's no wrong way. So how cool is that? Just can't screw it up is what I keep hearing, and that's a pretty amazing message. So I share it with you. Thank you for tuning in to today's vibration. Let's take this message of pure love out into all of our communities and continue expanding love here on Gaia. So much love from my heart to yours.